Brothers and sisters, what's happening? We are back again. This is EBXCARES, and I thank those that's been riding along and joining in. And for families, brothers and sisters, remember, if we are alive and breathing, we are back to conquer another day, another year, and another decade. And forgive me if you can't see me very well. I know it's a little bright out here, but I had to get in nature, and gotta have that gratitude. We gotta do things to make us feel better and be better. You know, what we do righteous in the present, say it together, folks, will benefit us in the future. And today I want to speak on healing. Now, a lot of us speak on healing, and it's all different kinds. Excuse me if you can't see me. You know, I might not be able to see me. Excuse me if you can't, but I got to get this off. Now, many of us speak on healing and how you have to be greater. And I know that's easier said than done. And again, we're speaking on healing and listening to that divine in our alone moments or in that valley or in the stages when we feel vulnerable. That's when we be careful, when we are feeling vulnerable. And I want to get into that. Now, healing takes steps, you know, and I will say I'm not an expert in this area. I'm not one who thinks who knows everything there is about relationships. Remember, it's just experiences and perspectives is all one is, you know, sharing. And I always say suggest, teach, and give advice. And another thing, welcome to another edition of EBX Discussion. And get in nature when you can. You know, we have to get in it. We have to live what we say, live what we teach, because it just feels better. And it's juvenating. And we have to do things that come out of that negative force that make us feel lonely, make us feel down. We have to do things to bring ourselves up out of that, which I'm going to get into. Excuse me if the camera shake. And that's a bit, we in nature, so we ain't going to blow. And if you can't see me, forgive me, like I said. But beautiful background, and it's wonderful when it's an authentic background and it's real. So I thank nature and Mama Nature and my family, my children, brothers and sisters I have met along the way, and brothers and sisters that have lifted me, and brothers and sisters I may lift, younger or older. But let's get back to healing. We have to heal, you know, but we have to take the steps and connect to others that have our best interests, brother or sister, male or female, to connect with that maybe have went through similar struggles, you know, and connect with them and put our heads together and come up with solutions to better ourselves. So the main reason, excuse me, we in nature, bug flying by my ear. But the main reason that we heal and we go through the steps of healing, so we won't carry toxic things, whether it's a divorce or it's a breakup in a relationship or a friendship, whether it's romantic or friendship. And we talk about opposite sex, male or female. And the reason we work on these things, and we have to heal, which is not easy, because sometimes I can be aggressive. I can say, get over it. But then I retract, and that great divine will remind me what I had to go through, and many others, what one had to go through to get through a struggle, because it's different strokes for different folks. But the one thing that will hinder us from healing is connecting with something or someone that doesn't have our best interest. And that can be person, place, or thing. Remember, treat this world like a noun. Break it down. You know, we have to analyze every little area, especially if we're in a challenge, coming into a challenge, or have went through a challenge. So we can what else many of us reachers and teachers say. So we won't keep repeating the same thing and getting the same result. Because when we come into another friendship or brotherhood or sisterhood, we talking about real brotherhood, sisterhood, or friendship. We want it to be real as possibly as we can, because we know we're going to have human errors. Things is going to happen in this human body, but that's what we must heal. And when we're alone, that's when we got to listen to that divine voice. It's not a joke, you know, but don't forget to have fun and enjoy ourselves too. Don't let ourselves drown in whatever we came out of. Again, whether it's divorce, breakup, friendship, relationship, you know, of course, we do a little reflection because that's how we learn and that's how we heal. But don't get stuck in it. Now, going through emotions can be challenging, you know, but that's why we have to either listen to someone or a real therapy. I know we hear this a lot, seek therapy, but make sure it's real, authentic therapy. That's someone that cares about you, not trying to drain your pocket or take advantage of our vulnerability. Because that's when a lot of human beings, brother or sister, male or female, that's when we make most of our mistakes, when we are vulnerable. Again, I've been there too. So again, never want to come off like like this top expert in this area. That we talk about life experiences. Everybody has human experiences, but we have to connect things that take us higher than this human body. We really have to connect with that divine deep within. And God resides deep within, not on the outside. We can get some things on the outside, but it goes back to what I said a few minutes ago. When God gets us in that vulnerable state, that's when that voice speaks to us. That's when we speak to that divine brother or sister, younger or older, family member. When we're in that vulnerable state, that divine will protect us, but we have to know in one's soul. It has to be more than belief. We have to know, again, not knowing everything, just knowing one's divine spirit deep within. And you have to say to yourself or think to oneself, we don't always have to speak, this too shall pass. And always the reflection is our evidence of things we have power through. I don't care if it's a divorce, a relationship, or some challenge from some person, place, or thing that was toxic in the past. Never ever drag the past into the present, because it will give you a miserable future. So remember that what we do righteous, and I don't care how challenging it is, great divine, if we're in a space or we are feeling alone, or we're in alone and we're in that space, because a lot of times we're not alone. It's how we feel. Being alone is a state of mind, as well as success and having material things and having a high status. Those are all states of mind. So that's why you hear so many of us work on our mindset, or listen to different speakers or teachers in our families or in the world or online. But make sure it's somebody genuine and somebody who truly has been through a struggle and has changed. And I can attest, we're always learning, but we get to a space where we're finally aware and we don't feel alone. And remember, those times when we do get alone, that's when we think, that's when we always say assess and reset and get our asses back on board. Because one thing all of us can agree on, every human being on this planet, brother or sister, male or female, younger or older, family member, we all can agree on the future is going to come. So I know I said on the podcast about stop whining now, but I did explain that I know crying is good, and males are different than females, but it's okay to cry. Brothers can cry, females can cry. It doesn't matter. But don't stay in those tears. Don't stay in those fears. At some point, you got to wipe the tears away. You got to stand up, put your head up, put your shoulders back, and especially if you got children. And, again, we don't overlook the challenge or try to act happy or act like things are okay. We still working on things, but at the same time, we have to connect ourselves to things so we can get better. Don't drown in sorrow. Don't drown in sadness. No. When the great divine made us, we were like a work of art. Mama Nature and that great divine. I love those two forces. That's why I'm in it. It calls to me sometimes when I'm not in it. I feel like I waste a day when I don't get out and bask in the beauty of nature. We can draw strength from that, but we have to take it serious. Don't just don't look at nature as something we can post on a video or post on a Facebook post. No, really get in and soak up and get into oneself and stop old behaviors. Again, it's for me too, folks. So I've been there, and we're always learning, because I always say we are leaders and teachers. We are leaders and teachers. We are not followers, but always keep a student spirit. And we heal, we inspire, and we lead. And it's not always about leading people. It's about teaching others to develop that leader within them. And that's younger brother or older brother. It's younger brother or younger brother or older sister. There's a big dragonfly just flew by. Woo! Gotta be careful. I'm in nature. But if I ain't bothering it, I'm sure it won't bother me. But yeah, just gotta, you gotta put forth the effort, and I'm telling you, great things will come. But we have to be in the space of resolving things and learning. And when we do get that real confidence within, and we're not faking it, we will see things begin to shake off and see ourselves becoming better. But in order to heal, we have to go through the steps. We have to go through it. As challenging as it is, Think of the brighter side. Anything worth doing, sometimes that great divine space it has us in is worth battling. I'm trying to watch out for that dragonfly. It's worth going through, but we have to stay in the space. Again, everyone, it's nothing wrong with crying, but at some point you got to wipe away them tears, and it's brother or sister, younger or older, family member, and stand up. Remember those things that we power through. We can get through this too. You know, take that space, the time we are alone, and like I say, I see it in the media, and I see young females that's, and it hurts because I'm an empath, and I sympathize. I've been in a space where I had no one, and all I had to turn to was myself and that divine voice. But somehow, some way, and those who are connected to that divine spirit deep within, I'm watching for that dragonfly. But yeah, those who are connected to that divine spirit, but we have to invest in it. It's more than just saying it. I know we got to connect to that God spirit within, and we hear these cosmic spiritual things, but when we are there and we are connecting to it, and we are truly loving ourselves and not just faking it, acting like we're happy on social media and we're really not. When we're not doing those things and all those fake things start to shake off and you become real and shit get real, excuse my French, and you start to see that divine light, man, share that to others. Because that's another thing we can do. Sometimes it's not a matter of we're feeling down or sad. It's how we perceive things, the state of mind that we are in. Again, we have to assess and reset and get our asses back on board. I'll go back to what I said a few minutes ago. When God made us, it was like a work of art. He knew the potential in all of us. It even says it in the definition. I don't know how accurate it is, but accurate it is. But in the definition of that divine deity, everyone, and it says everyone, it's just that melanated brothers and sisters have a different divine ability, more magnetic. It's just the way it is. But everyone has a divine ability. It's just this world will, like I said, and it's just a theory or an opinion. As I've always said, from birth, we've been thrown into guilt, and we think we're already thrown into guilt when we're born. So we're already starting off in a battle, some of us, It's like we spend our whole lives looking for that place of peace, or that thing where this thing that's supposed to make us great on the outside. We spend our whole lives looking for it when it's been in the inside of us the whole freaking time. And that's crazy, real talk. So no, that great divine is in you. Think of the amazing things we have made it through. Think of those who've been through accidents and been through things or experienced things that was unexplainable. It's a divine force out there, and Mother Nature protects us all the time. Get in Mother Nature, talk to the animals, talk to the birds. I don't care if people think you're crazy. Great divine don't. And those are the ones that sometimes we as individuals would think is weird. Those be the ones. I'm talking about a righteous brother, your brother or sister, or male or female, that sometimes we might think is weird, that maybe we think is a loner. Somebody righteous, not nobody evil. Somebody that's just righteous, that's might come off as a loner. Sometimes those are the ones that have the most connection, because again, those who know how to be alone and know that those are times when we learn and we grow and we speak to that divine. Those are the times when we know that we grow. And when we've done this over time, we become greater and better into our adulthood, and we can teach others what not to do. And like I said, we do have to show tough love sometimes too, because you have those that keep on repeating, that keep on running on that wheel like a hamster. I've been there, done that. I'm not going to be no hamster on no damn wheel, because that's when you're connecting to the devil. And again, when you're not paying attention to oneself and our own behaviors, and we're only focusing on the outside, okay, you're going to be stuck in that woulda, coulda, shoulda syndrome. That's what I call it, the woulda, coulda, shoulda syndrome. So when we are alone, don't take it at those times when we are by ourselves. Those are the times when that great divine trying to speak to us. This might be opinion, might be theory, but I've been there. Every time I come into a challenge or something happens out of the ordinary, if I haven't done anything now, if we haven't done anything wrong, but if we have caused a situation, we got to analyze that too. And don't get bitter about it. If the other individual did something, or this is vice versa, brother or sister, or male or female, young or older, you assess either or. But if the other individual can be helped, we try. But if not, we have to get away from them, because that's the only way we can heal too. We can't be attached to toxic things, person, place, or thing, if we're trying to heal. Because we have to heal. It's the most important to becoming a righteous teacher. Remember, this is a state of mind. Once we can get things, success, material things, money, and and attention, and we have to get the righteous attentions, because a lot of things, as I told my son, Lord Lamont, salute, which I got to get him on the hip hop what is, and salute to the reachers and teachers that gives perspectives on hip hop and stuff, and I really appreciate it. I love hearing different perspectives on relationships, hip hop music, and just life in general, because again, I'm looking for that dragonfly. Because again, I've done things on my own and researched, but there's things I've learned from one's family, brothers and sisters in the world, or online along the way. And that's honoring thy teacher, but we can heal and inspire, then we can lead. Remember, divine gets us alone for a reason, in our healing moments, again, we can cry a little bit, and but don't let sadness or downtroddenness or blaming and stuff like that. Don't let that stuff like that consume us and take over us. Real talk. Excuse me if I'm not looking at the camera. I can keep looking at it. So forgive me if I haven't been in nature in a while. If I'm not looking at the camera right or the lighting's off, forgive me. But I had to get this off because I know what it's like to go through the healing process. It can be very, very challenging, and everyone's different. And sometimes I have to remind oneself. I have to remind myself. Every individual is different, but one thing we all will have to agree on, or most of us do agree on, no matter how challenging it is, to become a better brother or sister, male or female, younger or older, we have to go through the healing process. But when we do, I'm telling you, no matter how challenging it is, whether we cried through it or we were sad through it, but when we make it and we see that things, because again, sometimes it's just all in our mind. When we see that it's just all in our mind, and we see a way, and we see things becoming better, and we see how we're righteously affecting others, because being bitter and passing on toxicity is not going to make anything better. And again, I wouldn't really recommend crying on social media, but it's better to see a person letting it out and crying and letting it out than being hidden. Because a person that's hidden, especially if they're toxic or they're a narcissist, now that's the worst kind. I would rather somebody be in front of the world, showing themselves crying at least, because that takes a lot of courage. So if you are on social media, which is, I don't recommend, like I said, but I would rather you be in front of people than hiding, because at least you're dealing with it. Might not be in the right way posting it, but at least one's dealing with it. And that's the empathic part of me will understand. Me, myself, I have my struggles too. I just, even when I'm speaking, sometimes I might be going through something, but that's why we speak, right? Self-therapy is wonderful. We can develop it, but you have to go through a healing. You have to go through that healing process. And this is the healing process that goes for anybody. Nobody, that goes for everybody has to go through a healing process. If you want to become a better individual, a better brother, a better sister, younger or older, we no longer be soldiers. We become generals of our lives, and we become the captain of our ship. It's not impossible. Learn to be by oneself, for a while. Don't say things like, well, there's nobody out there, or, either or, if this brother or sister that's having hangups with dating, I enjoy oneself. I can be with oneself, or I can be with somebody else. It doesn't matter with me. I've been there, I'm past the 50s now, hopefully, let's just thank that great divine, if you get past 50s, that you are still at a level of self-awareness. If you are by yourself, use that as a learning tool. See why you're by yourself. Break it down. Again, if we cry or whatever, brother or sister, younger or older, at some point, you got to wipe them tears away and stand up and heal, because, things not just going to drop out the sky if we're not seeking. If we're seeking divine qualities within oneself, they will come. And it's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when. It will come sooner or later when we take healing serious, and a great divine will put it in our spirit. When we take meditation, prayer, and things like that serious, it will drop it in our spirit. But we can't see it if we're blaming or if we're wrapped up in noise or chaos. So don't take a long time as a bad thing. Use that time as a healing time. That's the time that great divine is trying to protect us. Because remember, when we're vulnerable and desperate, and this brother or sister, younger or older, that's when that not that great divine, but that's when that devil will take over. And we don't want that. So always be in a place of healing, even when it's changing. Do something positive for somebody. Do something positive on purpose. Don't just drown in sadness. Remember, great divine made us like a work of art. We are a work of art. Think of ourselves as a work of art. So keep chipping away till we get to that great divine part of us. And that's brother or sister, family or general, younger or older. So that was in my spirit. So, because it's many of us out here. Some of our greatest, prominent, most powerful brothers and sisters that are teachers, younger or older. We all went through a healing process. That's how we get to a confident state, not a cocky state or arrogant. We went through it. So be proud. If you're in a healing process right now, be thankful that great divine has got you by yourself. Listen to that voice so we can teach others what not to do. So that's what's in my spirit. And thank those that's been riding along. And thank you for coming in to another edition of EBX Discussion. So get in nature and lock on to that great divine. Healing is a must, but don't look at it as a daunting thing. Healing and knowing oneself and learning oneself can be beautiful. It's all how we look at ourselves. So keep healing for those who are, and those who are at a stable place, keep studying to maintain, because there are negative forces out there and working overtime against divine brothers and sisters, family members, generals. So stay in nature, get in nature when we can, stay connected to that divine voice that keep us protected when we're vulnerable. Never ever let ourselves get desperate. Great divine loves us through everything. It knows the human errors that we will make. So just remember that. Keep on healing and keep being the generals that we have been and that we will be. So until the next podcast, music, father and son discussion, whatever I can do to add to humanity and or culture. And I don't care what struggle one has, to help another, I will always continue to heal in whatever area that I need to heal into. Because I don't ever want, like I say, I might, speak things and give suggestions and advice, but as I always say, folks, this is for me too. So great divine gets us alone for a divine reason. So use that alone time to heal and become the greatest man, brother or sister, male or female, young or older, general or family member that we have ever been in our whole lives. So salute to the next one. Salute. Love y'all.